Welcome and thank you for joining us in this dedication of our special ceremony. Although we dedicate Sergeant Himes Shooting Range today, the range itself is not new. The Bluegrass Army Depot Range was originally constructed as a pistol range for security force weapons qualifications. This was back in the day when security personnel were armed with .38 caliber revolvers. In the 70s, depot security guards were armed with M14 and later M16 rifles. Because our range was not set up for safe rifle training, the depot security guards began training for rifles at the Department of Criminal Justice on Fort Boonesborough. Depot security personnel had to travel to Fort Boonesborough during their days off to train, which required a significant commitment in time and overtime. In the early 1980s, the Depot Quality Circle Cost Savings Program suggested that the depot renovate the original range to allow for them to use organic weapons. The Quality Circle team determined that building a new range would save the depot $34,000. That takes you back in a different set of circumstances. In April 1985, the suggestion was adopted and construction began. Several security guards in F Troop Quality Circle helped construct the new range, including Sergeant Raymond Himes. Sergeant Himes' efforts during the range renovation were instrumental in bringing us the shooting range we have today. Himes started operating heavy equipment to grade the range and help build the range house. Sergeant Himes is a hard-working man who helped accomplish something that continues to benefit our depot 26 years later. He is a model example of a good security guard, a good employee, and a good soldier. In 1986, Sergeant Himes grew ill and in a short time later passed away. He was only 39 years old. The shooting range was named in his honor, a fitting tribute to the life of a good man. Today we rededicate the range in his honor. Unfortunately, in later years, the depot decided that Himes Range was not safe for rifle qualification because of noise hazards. The security force moved rifle qualification back to Fort Boonesborough, but that's not the end of the story, luckily. In July 2010, the depot started renovations on Himes Range once again. We completed the range last month. The new Himes Range is an exemplary model of the depot's increasing revenue while decreasing cost mentality. The cost for renovation was $600,000. But the depot will save approximately $200,000 annually in overtime alone. In 3 years, the range will pay for itself. Before the new renovation, the BGAD shooting range had 6 lanes for the use of handgun calibers and shotguns. Now the renovation is finished, Himes Shooting Range has 6 lanes for military police qualification course and 12 lanes for M16 rifle qualification. The range can also be used for 40 millimeter less than lethal weapons. Another exciting feature we hope to add in the near future is sniper rifle qualification. Himes Shooting Range is a great new resource for our depot and our local community. The range will help ensure the safety and security of our depot workforce and the many things we store and maintain on the depot. It also allows us to train our security guards right here on the depot rather than traveling again for overtime. The depot security personnel work in all kinds of weather and circumstances to protect and defend our depot. Every hour of the day, every day of the year, Himes Shooting Range will once again give our security personnel a great place to train, keeping our depot and therefore our local community safe. The new range will also be open to members of our military and civilian partners in the community. Active Army, Reserve, National Guard, and Department of Defense components, as well as local law enforcement, will all be invited to use this range. Today is a good day to celebrate the renovation of Himes Shooting Range and to remember the work done by a man who went before us, Sergeant Raymond Himes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ray Himes, Sergeant Himes' son, and I first want to say that it's a real privilege for me to stand in on his behalf today. As Colonel Rogers said, he's been gone for 25 years, and still today, there's not many days go by that I don't think about him, wish I could talk to him, share some things with him, tell him about the kids, what they're doing. So this is a very special day for me. I know we have some guys in attendance that worked with my dad and were friends with my dad, And I want to thank you guys for coming. And for those of you that knew him, you know that he was a good, dedicated man to his faith, dedicated to his country, dedicated to his job, and maybe above all, dedicated to his family. And we have, one of the things that makes today extra special for me is that he passed away before his grandkids were old enough to really remember him, or before my kids came along. So I encourage some of you guys that maybe knew him to get with us after the dedication. If you have a good story, just a good memory, we of course would love to hear it. One of Dad's granddaughters is right over here, Becky Brandenburg. She was just an infant when he died. And my kids and me and all the rest of us would love to hear anything you might have to say. And then on behalf of all of us, all the family, I just want to say a special thank you to the Army Depot. I want to thank Colonel Rogers. I want to thank Troy Wallen. I want to thank Greg Harris, Samuel Hudson, and Sergeant Powell, and anybody else that was involved with the dedication and the naming of the firing range. I think it says a lot about these men and about the depot that after all these years, they chose to keep the name and to continue to honor my dad. And we as a family thank you very much for that. I think it's a statement about his character, but I think it's also a statement about your character that you choose to continue to do that. My dad would be very proud to see his name on that range and to see the men use it and to see the men train on it. I know it would make him very happy. And as a family, we thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Himes, if you grab Sergeant Major, if you'll grab aside.
Okay.
Well, this is a big
Watch the
decision,
fingers,
aren't you?
yeah. All right. Ready, ma'am?
I'm ready.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Stand by. Fire! That's all right. Go ahead and drop the magazine. Place the weapon on safe. Sir, go ahead and drop the magazine safe. Go ahead and set the weapon on safe.
That's not bad for an old sergeant major, is it?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Was that one?
Hey, Tommy, don't get them all.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good job.
That's great. Good
Well.
shooting, Sergeant.
You got a lot of witnesses for the winner.
I want to hang on to this.
Better take it home and frame it.
On behalf of Major General Ed Canini, he's not available, wasn't able to be here, and our 7,400 plus or minus Army Guardsmen, 1,280 Air Guardsmen. I'm honored, extremely honored, and so proud to be part of the event here honoring Sergeant Himes. And I look back, you know, he's a baby boomer. He was the guy that made things happen, and this is a befitting tribute. The Kentucky Guard, we're located out, got a new readiness center right out of the main gate. It's our goal to become more involved in more training and more opportunities, and this range is certainly the first thing that we've got our eyes on to really help keep our folks fine-tuned in the war fight. And we're still knee-deep in Afghanistan. Our brigade, our 149th Maneuver Enhanced Brigade, just came home from closing the doors of Iraq, closing 27 bases, and we're proud to be a part, or business partner, and be able to train and host it so graciously from Colonel Rogers and his staff at Bluegrass Army Depot. It's my honor. Thank you all for having me here today, and I appreciate it, ma'am, very much. My honor today, and thank you all. Thank you.